5:30. Update your home without breaking the bank. Polka Dots and Rosebuds has easy, low-budget ways to make some facelifts. Owner Liz Toombs is here, and she tells us 3 tips today. And let's talk first about, like, when you're hanging the artwork. You want to make sure you find the centerpiece that you really want to showcase and then just kind of go with it, right?
Yes, and before you even decide on that piece, you want to find the center of your wall or the center of the furniture piece that you will be hanging above, because you're going to find that center point and then work out from there. So in your case, where you're talking about finding that focal point of the art, then you would place that piece on the center line. Or if you have a grouping, then you would find that center line and kind of work around it.
What about odd? You want to also think odd.
Yes, when it comes to accessorizing either on furniture pieces or in terms of hanging art, odd numbers are really great to work with. You can do one large, impactful piece, or you can even do a cluster of 3 or 5 if you want to get a little bit funkier and more playful with it.
And when do you think evens?
When you do evens is when you have a group that all of your pieces are the same size, and you want to have more of a symmetrical and formal feel. The odd is great if you have some pieces that work well together, but they're not necessarily the same size, so it wouldn't make sense to line them up all evenly.
And I think one thing that people are always thinking about is they have to fill their walls with stuff. And that's not really necessarily the case.
It is not at all, no. It tends to feel very cluttered and busy and overwhelming, a touch like Cracker Barrel if you start filling your walls too much. So what you want to do is find the places you want to focus on and hone in there, and then don't be afraid to leave some bare wall spaces around, because it helps balance things out.
And we're just taking a look at some examples here.
Sure, this is
like
a great grouping.
Yeah, like with the centerpiece, you got the big picture there, and then just a bunch of smaller pictures around it.
Yes, and this is a case if you wanted to just have one really stunning larger piece to be the focal point, and it's centered there over that foyer table. And this is great because it shows they've centered that art piece over the sofa, but then off to the right, they didn't leave that just floating open. They put a couple other pieces as well.
Any other tips that you want to share with us today?
Just play around. Don't be afraid. There's really no right or wrong. Just see what looks right in your space. And before you commit and put any nails or holes in the wall, play around on the floor. See if you like your arrangement when it's on the floor, and then you can transfer it up to the wall so you're not patching so many holes later on.
Very cool. Again, no right or wrong. You hear that from people that say, I can't decorate. There you go. Hey, if you want to get more information, log on to polkadotsandrosebuds.com. That's the name of it. Or you can visit them on Facebook. They have a page there as well with some tips. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Time now to get a check of the forecast.